Prime Minister Boris Johnson attacked SNP leader Nicola Sturgeon's calls for a second Scotland independence referendum, saying he does not see any reason to hold another vote. Nicola Sturgeon recently said Section 30, which grants the opportunity to allow for a second Scottish independence referendum, will be delivered to Downing Street before Christmas. Boris Johnson has rejected her calls for a second Scotland independence referendum, claiming he does not see any reason to go back on the previous assurance. Sky News presenter Sophie Ridge began speaking to Nicola Sturgeon this weekend. She has said that by the end of the year she will put a formal request in to ask permission for the UK government to hold another referendum on Scottish independence. "Can you rule out granting that as Prime Minister?" Mr. Johnson replied. "All I can say to Nicola Sturgeon and others, I've been asked this question every week in PMQs by our friends in the Scots Nats," Ms. Ridge interrupted. "Can you rule it out?" Mr. Johnson said. "What I will say is I think having another referendum. I don't think people in this country think referendums are very wonderful for harmony." The Sky News host repeated. "Can you rule it out?" "Straight answer will be fine." Before the Prime Minister continued, "We had one in 2014. Let me say this, the British people, the people of Scotland, were told in 2014 that was a once-in-a-generation event. Just as people were told, by the way, it was a once-in-a-generation event to have a referendum." Ms. Ridge asked for a fourth time. "So can you rule it out? Could you ever grant it as Prime Minister?" The Tory leader commented. "No, I don't. I don't want to have one. But I don't see any reason to go back on that assurance. Why should you?" And the same point can be made about the Brexit referendum. People were told this was it. Clip after clip of people saying this is it. This is a once-in-a-generation thing. Will never happen again. And now Jeremy Corbyn is saying he wants to renegotiate what is a fantastic deal what we have, and then have another referendum. I think it is wrong for the country, wrong for the economy and wrong for politics. Ms. Sturgeon recently claimed an independent Scotland is a much better alternative for the country, as she launched the SNP's campaign trail on Saturday. Speaking in Glasgow, the SNP leader declared, "The much better alternative for our country is to take our future into our hands and to become an independent country, a country that invests in our people, that invests in our public services, that invests in lifting children out of poverty, not in a hard Brexit, not in trident weapons of mass destruction on the River Clyde, an independent country that is open, that is welcoming, that is diverse, that can build a better future, not just for us here today, and this generation of Scots, but a better future for all the generations to come after us. That, my friends, is the prize, and that prize is within touching distance." During the speech, Ms. Sturgeon also criticized the Labour Party for not being able to make up its mind on Brexit. The SNP leader said, "There is, my friends, a much better alternative, and that alternative is not a UK Labour government that can't even make up its mind where it stands on the question of Brexit. The days when Scotland has to make do with a choice of the lesser of two evils, these days must come to an end. And if you permit me, given that I've been speaking about Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn, to go off on a bit of a tangent, let me send a message to both of them. Why are you so scared to have real debates in this election? And my message and my challenge is this: I'll debate either of you. I will debate both of you, anytime, any place. So stop running scared and come and justify why Scotland should not be independent.